This week on Face Off Hockey Show, we'll talk the ups and downs of the interest rate. We'll go on and see why online mattress buying is a craze and other things that don't make sense because the Capitals are up 3-1 and are on the cusp of a Stanley Cup. Doesn't make a bit of sense. Face Off Hockey Show next.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. What? With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway. They shoot the guard. There we go.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes.
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. I'm done trying to figure this whole thing out. A team that should not two teams should not be here. One team, 43 years, not a taste of this close. No sense. I'm Scotty Waz. Welcome to Face Off Hockey Show. I'm joined by Johnny Game 4 Patanzo. And Lyle Frost Advisory Richardson of SpectacleHockey.net. Which
speaking of things that don't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, between the frost advisory and the fact that Maryland has gone from 90 degrees to 60 degrees in 2 days, I think hell is freezing over.
Wait, it gets better for me up here. After I had posted about our constant frost warnings we've been having this morning, swear to God, we were having rain, and then mixed in with the rain came snow.
Just tiny little middle fingers flowing from the...
It actually feckin' was snowing here for about 20 minutes this morning.
That's about right.
I tell you, this ain't normal, and farmers ain't happy. Fortunately, I'm not a farmer, but
you
still.
mean the insurance company?
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, they're probably going to get some business if this keeps up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Johnny, let's talk about your Game 4 experience.
Yes,
sure.
Yes,
I had myself a weekend.
Yeah, you did. You had yourself a weekend. What was it seemed electric, boogie woogie woogie. Your thoughts on Game 4?
So I do have the hockey puck that I got. The official Game 4 hockey puck. It is kind of cool. They stamped each one with the games that they are used in. So hopefully nobody got a Game 3 puck that was used in Game 4. Because that would suck. But yeah, so I have a hockey puck. I got a bunch of stuff. So I watched NHL Network did something super weird yesterday, but also kind of cool. Yeah. So they showed the Game 4 in 90-minute chunks, both the Canadian and the NBC version. So
cool.
What's the
CBC? Is it CBC or Rogers?
CBC Sportsnet.
Yeah. So you got both back to back. So I recorded both of them because I was like, either there's something wrong or I'm going to watch the game twice. But it's interesting. The microphones didn't pick up how loud that arena was. That was the loudest I've ever heard anything, I would have to say, outside of like the Blue Angels like flying by, right? But it was insane. I have audio actually from the game. This was before the game. This was when this was before they even came out. And I don't have the sound up, which is in one way to make this happen. So yeah, I mean, this is before the game even starts, right? The entire arena is packed for warm-ups. But the smartest thing that Capital One Arena did was they allowed people into the arena an hour and a half to 2 hours before the game. So there were really no lines. There were no backups. I walked right in. I was able to go upstairs, get stuff that I wanted to get from the stores and whatnot. So that was really smart. But Yeah, this is me from the upper deck. That's just me recording this on a voice memo on my phone.
And you can hear because they crank music there, and the fact that the cheering is kind of drowning out the music. That's something.
Yeah, so it was cool. Everybody was hyped up. There were, I'd say that there were a lot of people that have either never been to a hockey game or just wanted to go to say that they went to a hockey game or this hockey game. But on the whole, I mean, a lot of fans, a lot of like people jumping up and down. I was sitting behind the goal that the Golden Knights shot at in the first period and the third period, I guess. But I didn't even see what happened on the post, the James Neal post hit. From our vantage point, I was telling Mark and Scotty, it looked like Holtby saved it. And like the whole place kind of goes nuts. And then the Caps kill a penalty. And that just kind of hopped everything up. Or they end up killing that penalty. And then everybody just started ratcheting up. And then Wilson, I think, got tripped. Or Lars Eller got tripped at center ice. And the Caps score on the power play. And the play that TJ Oshie makes to knock that puck off his skate around his front leg and then chip the puck in with his stick was insane. And they should have had to fix the roof. Like, I know it's a cliche, like the roof came off the place, but I mean, it was nuts in there. At the end of the first period, everybody was standing. I mean, DSP did score like 20 seconds before that.
That's amazing.
But in typical Washington Capitals fans form, the third period starts, and everybody's already decided that the Capitals have won. They're up 4-0.
Of course.
Then Vegas scores. There was about 6 to 8 minutes of squeaky bum time, I think, and then TJ Oshie destroys somebody with a back hit, and Kempney has a wide open net, and the place goes nuts again, and everybody's happy.
Colin Miller was the guy.
He went oops upside Colin Miller's
broke
head.
his nose.
Yeah. Well, the video, I think, said that his nose hit the back of Oshie's helmet. Right? Like, he didn't hit him with a shoulder or anything in the nose.
No, but
from what I saw.
Yeah.
But so I will say that the game was insane. The number of people there were crazy. I took a picture of the steps with people being joyous, and I got the F out of that place.
Yeah.
I went to the Metro as quickly as possible, and I got on it, and I went home.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed the game, though. It's safe to
Oh,
say.
yeah. It was definitely worth the money that I dropped to get there. So, and it wasn't cheap.
Listen, spend money now, make more later, baby. That's really
true.
Hey,
that's why I had a weekend.
The money was worth the memories, right, Johnny?
That's why I had a weekend. But yeah, game was awesome. Monday night was awesome. The videos after the fact were really cool to watch, like because we saw Max Scherzer and Zimmerman, Ryan Zimmerman, like in full gear and whatnot, but you didn't realize how hilarious it was until you saw it on videos afterwards.
That's good. Good times. So I'm glad you had a weekend, buddy.
Yeah,
appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I had myself a weekend.
He had himself a weekend.
It was a lot of fun. It was
cool.
Yeah. I got to see TV's Sean Leahy.
Yes,
who's doing TV spots.
They'll just let anybody have a NBC mic flag. I'm waiting for him to show up in the presentation, the on ice interviews tomorrow.
He might be on the ice. He was allowed if
it's true.
If I had a person today at work who obviously doesn't either know the Capitals or watch hockey, who was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if the Capitals win this weekend when they come back home?" And I'm like, No. Actually, if they win in Vegas, I'll have just as much fun.
I would rather them win in Vegas tomorrow.
You guys want this over.
Done.
Yeah,
Yes.
because as Capitals
Why
fans,
not?
and we listen, we've been friends for what, about 15 years now, something like that. It's been
Yeah,
it's
close
been a
enough.
long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
It's
close.
been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
We've been acquaintances. Let's for that long. We've been casual. We've known each other. We
Well, I
know
was
each
just saying,
other.
you know our
We
heartbreak.
nod when we see each other.
You know our heartbreak.
I've
yes.
talked to Lyle more often than my parents in the last 15 years.
And I am.
Yeah, same
touched by
here.
that. And I am touched by that. No, but I mean, I've known you guys for 15 years. We've been friends for 15 years, and I definitely know your pain. I remember living it with you guys at Game 7 back in 2010 when it was Montreal, Washington. When
Well,
Washington
you could have just put Game 7
anywhere.
in
Yeah,
any.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, but that one, but see, I had never really truly experienced what that felt like for a Capitals, because I was a Canadians fan, and as happy as I was actually more stunned than anything else, because I just kept expecting, but Washington's going to win this. Washington's going to win it. I said it all through the series. As a Habs fan, I'm happy that they're doing this well, but listen, ultimately Washington's going to win this. And my reaction when Montreal won the game, I remember plain as day, because we were doing the show at the time. He's saying, "Oh my God, they won it! Montreal actually won it." But just that dead, there was like about 10 seconds after I said that of about dead air from you guys, and I could just feel the heartbreak coming through at that moment. And we were doing a face-to-face show back then. This was still doing the phone stuff, and I could just feel it. I'm just like, oh, I have just entered a place I have never been before, and that is the heartbreak of a Washington Capitals fan.
It's like the fourth or fifth level of hell, I think.
I love the fact that just lose to Vegas and come home and win home. No.
Well, I wrote
end
about
it.
that in a latest column with featured.io. But anyway, basically that the Capitals and the Golden Knights are facing Game 5 history. Because on the one hand, if the Golden Knights, the Golden Knights are trying to do something that hasn't been done in the Stanley Cup final in 76 years, and that is coming back from a 3-1 deficit to win the Stanley Cup. Because the last team to do it was Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, yes, I know technically the Leafs came back from a 3-0 deficit, but it's still the same. Okay, still a feckin' same thing. So shut up.
It was
haters.
technically a 3-1 at some point as well.
Yes, Thank you, Johnny. Exactly. See, folks, Caps fans get this. Wake up. No, I had a couple of people say,
And technically, the Leafs are at that 3 games to none.
I know, shut up. But anyway, this is what the Golden Knights are trying to do. But on the other hand, then I also I shouldn't say touched on, because it was half of the article was about the Golden Knights trying to make history their way. Half of it was on the Capitals trying to make history their way. And their history is basically trying to slay the last playoff demon. This is the last demon.
This is the last one who just showed up late because the other two demons
yeah,
were already
but
in
really,
the
I mean,
fucking building.
Yeah, but really,
this is the final boss.
Your team has beaten the longtime nemesis Pittsburgh Penguins, who were defending Stanley Cup champions. So that was double fun. Two-time defending Stanley Cup champion. Do you understand? And then you guys saw your team just when you thought, oh God, here we go again, when they blew a 2-0 series lead to Tampa Bay in the Eastern Conference Final. They're down 3-2, and they rally back and take the series. So that was another demon slain, and you get to the Stanley Cup Final, and here you are. It's poised for the final. This is the final victories in sight. And the last thing you guys want is to see them lose Game 5, because then those old fears come back. It's like, here they go. They're going to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory again. And this would be the biggest, most heartbreaking collapse of all.
I would see a group suicide happen.
Oh my Lord!
Honesty, fandom suicide. But my thing is this: if I won't be mad if they lose in a tight game. If they lose like in a blowout, that's when it starts. Oh, here it is. Like
here we go.
Here we used up all our luck. We used up all our goals.
Yep.
And
But
I
even
think-
just that though, like Scotty, you might be happy with it. Johnny, would you be able to live with that if they lost, like if it was like 3-2 in double overtime, they
Yeah.
lost game 5?
Well, I mean,
guys
I'd
would
still be drunk going to work on Friday morning either way.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you would look for it. Okay, they're going to bring it home. They're going to win at home. But
So-
there's going to be a lot of Caps fans. Let's be honest. And I'm not just talking Johnny come latelys. I mean, a lot
See,
of like
So I'm going to put
I'm
it this
not
way.
happy. who are going
I
to
think
feel.
Scotty,
"Here
go
we
ahead
go
first,
again," if
Scotty,
they-
because I think that Scotty and I are in different spots right now
Mhm.
with the Capitals.
I'm at the point of I'm fine. I gotta stop. Hold on, I gotta stop this fucking scan. Why do you scan while I'm on the computer? You piece of shit. Anyway, I'm in the camp of I wouldn't be happy they lost Game 5.
Yeah.
Because then the creeping comes in where it's just like, okay, now you have to win in 6.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think. Obviously, I'm in the same boat. It's like when I've been waiting this whole playoffs. When's the other shoe going to drop?
Mhm.
When this is until they engrave, because I'm waiting for Game 5. If the Caps win in Game, if the Caps win this, Bettman comes out and said, "But there's a new challenger," and they fucking
And it's like a team from Europe.
Yeah.
they reanimated the 1920 fucking Ottawa Senators, and they have to play in old Ottawa Senators rules, and it's just weird bullshit.
No. They reincarnate the entire 1992 Pittsburgh Penguins.
They go back in time and bring back the 1998 Detroit
Oh,
Red Wings and have to be them.
Oh, and they tell you that Ole Kolsig has to play. And oh, by the way, they're bringing back Asatikin, and he has to play regular shift for the
Oh
Capitals
no!
at his current age.
I think, but well, guess what? In a music video, he missed open net too, so I'm not fucking. I have no problem. and both Lars Eller and Michael Kempney have missed open nets this playoffs too. So let's not.
There's
go
another
too
dragon
crazy
slain
on
though.
that.
Those guys missed open nets, but Capitals still won.
Yeah.
So there's another dragon
Yeah.
slain. They got away with missing open nets.
Yeah. So from my perspective right now is that I almost reached the point where I don't give a fuck anymore. I was at the point of apathy in round 1. I stopped caring against the Columbus. They went down 2-0 against Columbus.
And that
I
was it for
didn't
you.
watch a single full game in the first round.
Mhm.
I watched them play at the end of the first period. I was like, whatever, I'll find out what happened in the morning. And went to sleep. They came back 1-4 straight. They beat Columbus. Kind of started caring about Pittsburgh, but kind of still had that thought in the back of your head, like, it's going to end anyway in 2 weeks. Why does it matter?
Right.
And then I went to a soccer game on a Monday night, which just happened to be game 6 in Pittsburgh. And we went out to watch the game, went to play soccer, and went back into the bar because I had to pee. And Evgeny Kuznetsov is in a breakaway and doing a bird. And I was like, holy fuck, we got something going on here. And then from that point on, I've been drunk for a month. So, I mean,
That helps a lot. And I also been enjoying it more because there's two things that I realize. One, I can't wear Caps gear during the playoffs because the times I've done that, they went down 0-2 to Columbus. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to skirt back on that.
see,
Yeah,
I did
don't
that too.
don't break the luck.
Round is different though, Scotty. Unless you're not
Well,
doing it still.
Well,
Because I did that too for a really long time. And then game 7 against the Lightning, I brought out the Fedorov jersey and they've won every time I've worn Caps stuff since.
right. Well, like I haven't tried to go back to Cap stuff. They're doing too good. We can't do that.
Okay.
But I've also my uniform of choice is black underwear, gray shirt. Anyway, there you go, folks. It's
so interesting.
But
Is that
but I
also-
like a reverse
For home
jinx?
or the office.
You understand? We have 10 minutes until Sean Leahy gets in here. So we got to get this. He's a professional, goddammit. He's got a microphone that says NBC on it.
Yes.
And BC. But I also realized that nothing I do, whether it be in any kind of fucking, if I brush my teeth this way, if I do it this way, if I get into the car this way and listen to this, although I have been listening to a lot of Hip Hop Nation on XM, whatever. But like nothing. I'm not playing. I don't have to have the mental mindset. Nothing I do matters to this team. So just watch the game, yell at the TV screen, wake up a girlfriend, and away you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for the apathy I just talked about 3 minutes ago. I definitely on Saturday night, Mark and I were at a wedding. First of all, we were watching the game on Mark's phone. And first period 0-0, I was drinking beer, and I was like, you know what, I might have to switch back to vodka. And Mark was like, wow, you're going from beer to liquor. And I was like, well, I've given enough of a break, I think. And I don't know, I've been drinking vodka like ever since round 2, like in the beginning of the Lightning series. So I went up and got a vodka Sprite with the limes, actually.
Oh, the Sean Leahy,
the Leahy special.
Yeah. Well, the Sean Leahy with fruit.
The full Leahy.
And the full Leahy.
Hold on, that's a Sean Leahy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the full Leahy.
Then, so I picked up vodka Sprite, brought it back to the table. Ovechkin scores like 3 minutes later. I definitely snuck vodka into the game 4 on Monday night. Not even joking.
There
Had a
you
little travel container that you like normally are supposed to put like shampoo, lotion in stuff when you fly other places. I filled it with vodka and put cellophane around it and stuck it in the bag. So yeah, lemonades and vodkas got me through game 4.
There you
Caps
go.
won again.
Yeah.
I think we found the trick is I need to drink vodka. Maybe that's
There you go. Yeah. See, in
Uh,
honor of your Russian stars, you see.
I have also told my mom. I told my mom in the Eastern Conference when they won the Eastern Conference. I'm like, listen. She's like, you want this shirt? I'm like, listen. Let's not buy any gear now.
No.
A, it's bullshit.
No.
It looks terrible. Secondly,
It does look terrible.
we got one more hurdle to do
Yep.
before we pull down the attendance banner and raise up another.
You know what? So I will say also that the arena is different because the Caps are up 4-0 and get scored on. James Neal power play.
Yep.
Finally,
up for-
really
made
hits
up for-
before
that
by
was
For that, wow, yeah.
and as soon as the puck goes in the goal, everybody's kind of like, and then the Oregon player starts playing, "Duh, duh, duh," and everybody just starts chanting, "Let's go Caps!" And I was like, "Huh, this is different. What's going on?" People are actually like cheering the team on. This is weird.
The interesting part is that I'm going to look it up now, but I'm pretty sure this is the most wins by a Capitals team in a season ever.
Has to be.
I just have to look at their win because they didn't win 50 this year.
No.
So I just have to do math, and we all know that's fucking rough.
How many games did they win this season, regular season?
49. Wow, that's 49. I'm
They
surprised
didn't miss by
at
much. They didn't
I'm
miss by much.
surprised. I thought they won like
didn't miss by
45.
much. So they've won 15 thus far. So 49 plus 15 is how much?
I can't. 54.
64.
Thank you, Johnny.
Damn.
64.
Thank you, Johnny.
So the most they've won in a season is 62.
So there you go.
So they have.
Well done, them.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that's 57. Wait, what did they win? 40? That's 52.
That's amazing, actually. Let's be honest. That it'll end on 65 if the Caps win the Stanley Cup and not get to 66.
That'd be perfect. That'd be just they gotta win. They gotta win the game.
Yeah.
I'm still not counting my chickens before they hatch for some reason.
No, but you know,
No.
because well, I think you guys would survive if it went to a game 6, but if this goes to a game 7, oh boy,
If it goes to
I don't
game
know-
7,
I
we
don't know
gotta
if you guys
hold on. Here's the only
hit
good
on the
thing.
stress if it goes to game 7.
It's fine. If it goes to game 7, we do another 1-hour pregame show, and we're 2-0 on that. So
Yeah.
I think we're all right.
All right. Yeah, true. Okay.
I
2-0
think we're all right.
lifetime.
Don't
2-0
go
lifetime
to-
on 1 hour pregame shows for
don't do
the Caps.
Don't do the game 7. Don't.
No,
Too
you
much,
guys,
they
no,
don't need.
no.
Don't need a game. I got Monday off, so
No.
if you win
There will
tomorrow
be zero.
or Sunday,
There will be zero chance
There is
that
one
I will
thing.
make
Yeah.
it to work after the Caps play if it goes to game
If it
seven.
goes to Game 7, I'm fucking. I'm gonna have one eye on the TV and one eye on the noose in the corner.
Well, because you
And we'll
guys,
see
you
who
guys know,
wins.
you guys know what that record is in Game 7s.
Well, I think there was also a stat that so everybody loves to pull out the stats right at this point, and effectively
yeah.
the caps from here on out, or from here up until this point, have basically been like, yeah, we get it. All of this shit happened in the past. We're fine. We're gonna keep moving, and then the Caps win Game 5 or Game 4, and I don't think it was more than 14 minutes after Game 4, and it was like the Washington Capitals have the most number of blown 3-1 series leads in playoff history. I was like, nice. Way to bring everybody down.
Nice to bring that up. And this is the thing. I did not realize that actually until I started doing the research for that article I was telling you about, and then I was just like, ooh, I knew it was bad, but I had no idea it was that bad.
But
Five.
this is
Five
good.
out
This
of
is
7.
good.
Yeah.
5.
This is another step.
They've lost 5 of those.
But
12.
that's why I'm saying this is the final dragon to slay.
But-
that gets
but
rid
here-
of the playoff choke artist label once and for all. Yes, it does. They win this. You win the Stanley Cup. Yes, you are
It
no
doesn't
longer a choke artist. You won. You succeeded, Scotty. Yeah.
No, because
Yes.
it's still because that record that makes it only 8-5, Lyle.
No. Don't matter. You
Oh,
won the cup. Don't
absolutely.
matter. The people try and bring that up. You turn around and you go, hey, cup ring, bitches. Move on.
that's-
Go look at go
I'm
go
gonna
go
get
wine at the
Cam
San
Ward.
Jose
Cam
Sharks.
Ward's doing a great job of that, isn't he?
Go wine to the San Jose. Exactly. Don't matter. Hey, they went to the final once. They were twice. They're one out. They got a 500 record. There you go. Cup ring, bitch. Move on.
Cam Ward is a piece of garbage. I'm just saying that in general.
Don't matter. Don't matter.
Oh.
The Capitals, that label will never be on them again. They win the Stanley Cup. That label is gone. Raised
We'll have to
forever.
agree to disagree on that one.
No. No. It is gone. Cup
Lyle.
ring trumps everything. It trumps it.
No.
Trumps
no.
it.
Absolutely
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Why? How?
Because they're champions, Scotty. Be champions.
It's the exception to the rule, Lyle.
Look, you're saying that now. They win. I guarantee you, at this time next week, if they've won Game 5 or Game 6, I guarantee you, we do the show next week, and you're going to be going, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You were right.
Absolutely not.
That cup glow
Exception to the
feels
rule.
fantastic.
I'm not
Cup
saying
ring,
hold on,
bitches. You'll be saying that 5 years from now.
All right,
People
if you
say,
let me talk, it's two
No.
different feelings. It's two different feelings. Hold on. It's two different feelings because I'm not saying the cup ring won't feel great. I'm not saying the victory won't feel great. It doesn't not make them choke artists.
It erases it. It's gone. No. They cannot be called going forward. You want to look back. There's before the cup and after the cup. BC and AC. Before the cup, playoff choke artists. They dropped 5 out of 7, 3 games to 1, and the record was what? Dropped 7 out of 12 in elimination cut. Fine, whatever. Right? Then there's after the cup. It is a clean slate. What? Are you actually going to turn around and people are going to say, oh, the great playoff choke artists, Washington Capitals and San Jose Sharks. What are you doing throwing the Capitals in there now? What are you doing throwing the Capitals in that mix?
Absolutely,
Sharks ain't won shit. There you go.
No, that's fine. I absolutely will put the Caps on there because this is the exception to the rule. I'm going to be a realist. If they win the Stanley Cup, because again, they haven't won 4 games yet.
They win the Stanley Cup. You were gonna enjoy that glow so much.
I'm not saying
so
I won't.
much.
I
Take
have
it
never
from me, who's
Okay.
been there. You are gonna enjoy that glow
I won't.
so
I have
much.
never said I won't.
And I'm
I
not
never
saying
said I
I've been
won't.
there as a player or involved
Right,
in it.
no,
I mean, as a
as a
fan,
fan.
as a
I get
fan
that.
who saw his team win the Stanley Cup. Yes, you're
But-
gonna love that feeling.
Yeah, that's going to be great. If they follow it up with a fucking choke job next season,
It won't matter. You won't care.
Absolutely, it
You will not care.
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
No,
I
you
don't
won't.
care.
You won't care.
I'm
You
going to
won't
say
care.
I don't care if they choke next
I
year.
will
Johnny,
absolutely
Johnny
care.
gets it. Johnny knows.
If we're still talking to us in 25 years and we're going through the same thing.
Oh,
the
well, then,
last 20
okay, now
years-
that's different. Exactly. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit
But I
there and
think
say,
you get
hey,
like
Toronto
a 5
Maple
to
Leafs
7 year
yeah.
pass.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
think you get
talking
a 5
about.
to 7 year pass of like whatever, you know.
Yeah, if
It
you're
is what
talking,
it is.
yeah, if you're talking like a record of futility, like we've seen Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, sure, yeah, oh yeah, their team won 13 Stanley Cups in their career. Yeah, who's still alive? Who's seen them? Right? Come on, anybody who was born in the early 60s don't remember it. Everybody who was born in the 50s does. Anybody born in the 60s don't remember it. Anybody whatever definitely doesn't remember it. So of course they have a horrible record of playoff futility. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, if you're talking next year, 2 years, 5 years, nah. Cup ring, bitches. That don't apply. Take your playoff choke label and go and shove it to somebody else. Shove it on people who have not won a cup. Okay.
Couldn't this Capitals team still look a lot different next summer?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
No matter what happens.
Yeah.
Not even just next
Like-
year, just a couple years from now too, because
Mm.
you got to figure. Ovi's got Ovi's playing as a contract, and then who the hell knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. Like, will he stay? Does he go back to Russia? Listen, I wouldn't rule out that he goes back to the KHL.
Oh, that's fine.
There. And listen, more power to him if he does. I don't fault any Russian player who wants to do that. Who's had a full career.
More than enough for the Capitals.
Yeah, if
fine.
if you're gonna do, like if you're gonna do like a Datsuk or like any of these guys who gave their best, hell, even Kovalchuk, right? Though the way he did it, getting out of his contract, I didn't much care for that. Whereas
Well,
with Datsuk,
the contract itself was pretty crazy.
yeah,
Let's be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. We can't fully put the blame on him for
Wait
that
till
either.
John Tavares happens when Blue finally gets that done.
Yeah, but I don't fault. Yeah, I don't fault. If he wants to do, if Ovechkin wants to do what Datsuk before him and Kovalchuk and all those guys that go back and play out their careers in back home in Russia, you've earned that right. Go ahead, go do it. Besides, the NHL got your best anyway. So yeah, hey, more power to you.
He'll be 36 by the start of the 2021-22, which is the first season he'll be a UFA. Because he's got a September birthday. We all know this because Mike Keenan tried to pick him with the last pick in the 2002 draft.
That's
or
true.
2003 draft.
And he was told,
Yeah, exactly. Ovechkin's did more than enough in this league to you know what? Go, enjoy, have fun.
Especially if you won the Stanley Cup.
Right. That's what I was gonna like. It almost makes it easier for the league.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's like
He doesn't have to Jerome McGinley this thing and hope.
No. Hey, Mark.
howdy.
Mark Vertonzo, everybody. Mark, Lyle and I got into a heated debate,
Yes, we did.
which I'm fine. I'm fine with.
Good naturedly, we raised our voice.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it was good natured. There was no malice behind it.
No, it's just us talking to each other because we're loud personalities.
Yes.
Which is
I
why
played
our
them
mor-
off the stage. With
That's
chanting.
yeah, exactly. Which is why our morning show, Mustache and the Goat, will be fantastic.
Absolutely. I am so down with that. I would permanently wear this freaking ugly stash. And you can,
Or if we want to keep an animal theme, Otter and the Goat.
there you go. No, I like Mustache and the Goat. I like that. Mustache and the Goat in the mornings.
So so Mark, we were talking about play out.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Oh, man.
All right.
101.3, the Goat in La Palm, Manitoba.
So we were talking about if when the Caps win the cup.
Yeah, please go, Mark.
Does their label of choke artists go down the drain? Because my thing is the championship would look great, but if they follow it up with a choke job next year, people are just going to think about the choke job. Lyle says championship, you can just show them the ring and tell them to fuck their mothers. Your thoughts on this?
I'm with Lyle on this one.
There you go. The P-boys get it.
The championship not negates the past, but it certainly overshadows the past.
It becomes almost like a clean slate, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, there's BC before the cup and AC after the cup.
It's not like Backstrom throwing his head back or anything.
That was
Which
funny.
was awesome.
That was pretty hilarious. Don't Colin Miller just yeah, I don't know. I'll be on an island on myself. That's fine. I'll enjoy the championship. But if they followed up with a fucking up 3-1 and then losing 7 again, I'm like, Fuck these mothers.
So the narrative changes, though, right? It changes
yeah.
from them
Yeah, yeah.
being it changes from them being choke artists to now Ovechkin doesn't care anymore because he got his cup.
Oh,
That's
you
the
are
narrative.
so right, Mark. That
Oh,
narrative
that's a
will
good
come
narrative.
flying. Mike Milbury will be the first one to spew that nonsense.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, that's good narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good narrative, right?
Let's go to the bakery of hot takery. Steve Simmons, your thoughts? It's because Obi doesn't care anymore.
Baltimore people like that's some Dan Roderick stuff right there. Oh, I was delicious.
That's some good hot takery. Yeah.
Starving for some hot takeries.
God damn.
We were joined by Sean Leahy, obviously on Vegas time. There's no clocks in that town.
There are no clocks in this town.
He
I
better
asked
hurry.
him though, if he
He
had
better
older
hurry.
age and enlightenment.
He doesn't know what day it is. Who knows what time it is?
He
Hey,
still
I'm
can't
gonna
tell the
say-
Patanzos apart, for God's sake.
So he did tell me that he told me that I was his favorite Patanzo, but then on Twitter he said he met Hudson. So I don't know what's going
That's
on.
weird. Kind of weird. I was really late for Hudson.
And I shaved my goatee off for him, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, if he's still wearing that mustache, like, wait, I wasn't supposed to shave the mustache. It was just supposed to be the goatee."
It's true.
And besides, if I lose any more facial hair, my wife is not going to be pleased. So
Right?
I just sent something to Leahy that says Lyle is not happy with you right now.
It's the exact opposite in my household. If I have to grow any more facial hair,
Did you just say if I'm allowed?
yes.
He said he's coming. He's finishing a story. Damn work.
Lame. You know,
Oh,
never mind. I'll ask him this. I never hear him in any media scrums. It's not like he's doing any work. I don't understand what's going on.
Sean Leahy is Mr. One-on-One.
Mhm.
Sean Leahy is Mr. Exclusive, Mr.
yes,
Feature Editor.
yes.
Oh.
You're not going to
Scott
see
Van
him in
Pelt talked
scrums.
about the Caps. You're gonna have to watch that later.
What happened?
Scott Van Pelt talked about the Caps.
Of course he did. He's from fucking.
I think he was at Game 4.
Of course he
I think I
was.
saw something he was supposed to be there.
By the way, I want to say Liam McHugh is a douchebag. They had Keenan Thompson in the in the first intermission of Game 3.
Yep.
They asked 0 Mighty Ducks 2 questions.
Yep.
What?
Got the ball on that one.
None.
Although to be fair, they did ask him who his favorite Caps players were, and he said Ovechkin. Ovechkin. What did he
Ochi.
say Braylon Holtley, and I forget it. He butchered somebody else's name.
It's like, oh, just stop embarrassing yourself now.
And
Just
Joey the
just-
Cat Gaffney.
just just stop. If you don't if you can't at least pronounce properly the names of at least 2 Capitals stars, you are not a Capitals fan. Get the hell out of here.
But- so he was wearing a Yankees hat, apparently, at the Sting Shaggy concert, and people started booing him to the point that somebody from the Capitals had to walk out with a red that just had the Weagle and the all caps hashtag on the hat, and he took off the Yankees hat and threw it on the ground and put on the Caps hat with a foam finger.
I will
This
say,
is how prepared they were for Game 3. They had a week
That's probably
to
shtick,
prepare.
though. Keenan's good.
It could've been.
Keenan's good with he's on Saturday Night Live after all. He gets prop
improv.
comedy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
Carrot Top
Alright,
for Game
so-
5.
there you go.
Fun fact: I just got an email from eBay, and there's a set of cards.
Oh, I
Called
thought it was
the,
Elio's.
Oh no, trust me, I've been on the phone with them. Your boy's got to
Hey,
get some. Dude, if
Well,
the Caps
Scotty, let him talk to your agent. I'll get you whatever you need.
if the Caps win, your boy is on the horn to get that special Stanley Cup gear swag from Oyo.
Yeah.
I just saw.
How
There's
many Legos do you think I would need to buy in gray color schemes in order to create actual replica Stanley Cup in my house? Okay, we'll pine over this one for a
What
couple
if the
weeks. Let's
outside
bring that back.
pieces had stickers on them with the names that went all the way around?
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
great.
you know how that would take me a year, but I'm in.
Anyway, got it.
All right, so there's this thing called the ITG card company, the Final Vault Hockey Hobby Box. It's a box of cards. It's a case. You get a case, which is 10 boxes per case, 10 cards per box. So 100 cards. How much do you think 100 cards is worth?
100 cards.
100 cards, Lyle.
I mean, they got a great name to them.
Is
I'm
this a
gonna
buy?
say
Is this a buy it now situation or?
This is a buy it now
Okay.
situation.
$500.
$500 is Mark.
100 cards?
100
cards.
cards
total cards.
total.
Yeah, $100. What do you $500, Lyle? That's ridiculous. I'm going 80.
Cards.
$80.
$80.
Johnny.
I'm still thinking higher than that. I feel like upper deck packs are 10 a pack, and they're pretty expensive right now. I'm going $249.
Ooh, very exacting.
Lyle's the closest without going over.
Dear Lord.
There you go, son.
This
Told
is
ya.
on sale.
Okay.
Without going over.
This is on sale at 40% off. You're saving $400 on a
40% off.
$599.95.
Sweet Jesus. Wow. Even I wouldn't have even thought it was going to go that high. I figured, yeah, 500 I'm kind of safe in the ballpark, $100 either way. But 40% off and it's $599?
Yep.
Oh my Lord. Wow. For
10
100 cards.
This is the reason that children don't know how to barter.
Right?
Like, I know we've had this conversation before, but when we were kids, we used to get baseball cards, like packs of baseball cards for like 50 cents, I think, or like maybe less than that. And we would trade so that we could get the people that we liked.
Yep.
The people we needed to complete sets. Like, you actually learned a life skills by collecting baseball cards.
Oh yeah,
when
they
we
were
children.
they were a quarter back in the 70s, but they were a quarter for a pack of 10, plus that hard plastic gum that if you bit into, you risk carving up the roof of your mouth. But yeah, it's just but it was the same thing when I was a kid, Johnny, that you described. Same thing. You know, it'd be like, you know, how many times you'd see in the schoolyard, and there'd be like half a dozen standing around going, need him, got him, need him, got him. Okay, I'll give you I'll give you a Steve Shutt, a spare Bernie Perron, and let's see. Oh, in this third line plugger from this brand new team called the Washington Capitals for your Bobby Orr. And
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We need to stop.
To Sean Leahy, to Sean Leahy's defense, he did actually just put up. Oh, it's here.
I will. Let's stop this now, ladies and gentlemen. A man who has been holding an NBC mic flag like he owns the fucking place. NBC's own Sean Leahy. Sean,
Hey!
it's a joy. It's a joy and a pleasure, sir.
It is. I shaved my goatee for you, so don't say if I'm still wearing the stash, you're going to be mad, because the deal was the goatee went, brother.
You know, it was really supposed to be a really big elaborate ruse, and I wasn't thrilled at all. I was hoping you just shaved everything, and I would never show up, and then you could really.
I knew you too well, Sean. You wanted to see my chin. You wanted to see if I actually had one, and you can see it took me years, but I finally grew a chin. There you go.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd look like a baby seal.
Sean, you know it's clubbing season. He can't do that.
That's right. Up here, yeah. I mean, come on. We're still having frost warnings, so I got to be careful up here, brother. So.
Sean Leahy hunkered down in his hotel with no light shining through as he would burn on impact.
Well, I was I mean,
it's at least
a hotel room, or
it's 168 degrees outside today.
Hold on, we're gonna be in Dallas here in a couple weeks. How are you gonna deal with that? Because I know as a fat guy, I'm not gonna be fun with the hot weather. But you, as a pale gentleman, how does that gonna make you feel about life?
Well, they have a lot of places where you can hang out inside that has air conditioning, so that's like here. That's where I'm gonna be. Bars, yeah. Hotel rooms.
The International Bowling Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Me and Pete Weber are gonna hang out.
Oh, that'd be great.
The
You don't know who
grassy
you
knoll?
think he is. I am. So 4 games in, Sean. Why is this a series? Like, how is this the thing in 2018, the year of our Lord? These two teams facing off. It doesn't make sense to any of us, especially considering the Caps are up 3-1. It doesn't make sense to Caps fans, and it's kind of weird. And we're kind of sad and happy and depressed and horny. How should we feel?
I don't know the last one, but
Oh no, are you kidding me? Do you know how many Alexes and Evgenis are going to be born in DC in 9 months if this occurs?
Oh my God.
there's so many Bradens in the DC area in the next 9 months. You're gonna feel like it's the WHL draft all over again.
And yeah, that'll also explain the high number of Devontaes too. Be a lot of Devontaes.
Yeah.
A lot of Devontaes.
Timothy's.
Yeah.
Timothy's, yeah.
Yeah. Braden's.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's a series because, see, both teams play 82 games and they
Okay.
made the playoffs.
Wait, hold
And
on.
then they
Stop.
won
What is
3
this?
rounds of playoffs.
What are we playing?
They won 82 games, and they
Mhm.
made the playoffs. And they won 3 rounds of playoffs. They won 12 games, and now they meet in the finals. So that's kind of how we have that. Why this is.
But
the
hold
now.
Hold
Wait,
on, though. Hold on. When I was at game 4, the people behind me were trying to explain to some other people how the regular season worked. And they said that they played between 82 and 84 games. So they weren't quite sure how many games were at the end of the season.
Well,
I thought it
there's
was-
a couple bonus games. Those
is there an
outdoor
extra
games
game?
too.
To
Like-
be
like-
to
like-
their
Like
defense,
little big
Johnny,
leagues, do they play an extra game sometimes?
To be-
Maybe.
in their defense, they haven't watched hockey in 25 years when it was 84 games. So
That's probably it.
Yeah, there you go.
The outdoor games
I
count as
saw
two.
a guy that got his shoes jersey, though.
No, the outdoor games just feel like two.
let's play 2, everybody. In any case, are you surprised at this outcome right now?
Not really. I thought heading in it was pretty even between the teams. Like I could have seen either team win. Vegas is obviously on this season-long hot streak, and the Capitals have been playing pretty strongly since Hopi went back in, and certainly recovering against the Lightning there after losing those 3 straight. But after game 1, which was just a shit show of epic proportions with 10
But an
goals.
entertaining one, though.
Of course. I mean, I wish we would have had a few more of those games so far, but
I know.
Isn't that literally Vegas, though, in a sentence? A shit show of epic proportions, but an
But
entertaining one.
Yeah.
10 goals. Michael Buffer, showgirls around the lower boards there behind Capitals net when they're doing warm-ups. I mean, after that, obviously, it became a hockey series, and both teams knew game 1 was a really, really big outlier. A lot of nerves. Both teams had a decent amount of days off, 5 to 8 days or so since the conference final. Some nervous energy. And then they settled things down for the last 3. But you look at the last 3 games, and they're moving in opposite directions. The Capitals are trending up, and Vegas is trending downward. Vegas, I think the first 6-7 minutes of Game 4 was really the best hockey that Vegas has played since Game 1. I mean, they came out like they usually do, and they used to do, aggressive, strong, getting some early opportunities. They just couldn't get that first goal like they've done so many times before. And then, they take the penalty, and Oshie scores a power play goal, and then it starts to snowball from there.
We're with Sean Leahy. He is from WNBC.
I did have a question real quick.
Okay.
I just saw you yesterday. You couldn't ask me yesterday?
No, he
Well,
he
no,
was
because
drunk.
it was after I saw you. And plus, that was 2 days ago. This is
Yeah, it
the
was
same
2 days
conversation we had on Monday. Literally the same conversation we had on Monday. It's like
2 days ago.
Groundhog Day, except now we're in different places.
Yeah. And there are a lot more experts Mark's way.
How many? You were talking to Hudson anyway. So.
Yeah.
But how many media types were there? Because there were 2 half sections extra of media roped off in the upper deck, which I didn't even realize. When you were talking to me before the game, you had mentioned it, and I didn't put the pieces together until I walked in and saw all of the extra media spots that were literally in the upper deck of.
Yeah, they always do that for that's the auxiliary press box. They have it every year.
I've never been to a Capital a Stanley Cup final game.
But yeah, they do that every year. I mean, all the extra media because this time of year, because you not just have just the regular national people that cover the teams and just the regular people that cover both teams. You also have the extra local people. So all the extras, newscasters, the sports people, newspapers will add a few extra writers to cover the series. So there's always some overflow. and that's where those people who are maybe along the lower part of the totem pole, usually like radio people as well, like the radio reporters, that's where they get thrown during the final.
So, Sean, what's your indication here? I don't know if you've seen the dress rehearsals. How early do I need to start my DVR in order to catch the entire pregame?
That's true.
Well, I think it's the same. They did the same thing for games 1 and 2. I think they just changed up each series. I don't know. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe they'll change it tomorrow, considering how big the stakes are for the game. And there's only 2 games at most left in the Golden Knights season at home. But I saw I got to the rink maybe like 4 hours before the game. And I got to see them for it, with the guy dropping from the rafters and fighting the night. It was pretty cool. It's entertaining, and it's just so Vegas because it's kind of corny but kind of cool, and the crowd really ate it up.
Vegas gonna Vegas.
I see this being like a they're gonna go like a full 300 theme with this. This is Sparta.
I mean, they need
overwhelming.
Something. Maybe Celine Dion sings the national anthem. I don't know how is she still there?
Oh yeah.
She's there.
Celine lives there. Yeah. She owns a hotel that pretty much just caters to her show.
Yeah, it's called a residency. It's like touring, but people come to you.
Come to see you. Elvis discovered and said, and everybody said, "Hey, that's a good idea."
a good idea.
Yeah. Then he died on a toilet.
Right?
Did you bring your house down, Johnny?
Yeah. Well, you got to keep things in check.
Well, exactly.
I don't want us to get too high or too low.
Who is? Question.
No, I was just gonna say. Now I know that your I guess for lack of a better word, your colleague Pierre McGuire kind of caught a bit of flack from one of your former colleagues, Greg Wyshynski, and his buddy there, Dave Lozo, doing their puck soup thing. They're over their episode last week because McGuire was talking about the save. How it's going to be known in Washington is the save. Holtby with the big paddle on Alex Tuch in game 2. But, I got to say to Pierre's defense, I honestly think that will be remembered as the turning point in the series. If the Caps go on and win this thing, and I said at the time, this is going to go down as being that will go down as being the turning point in the series.
Oh, absolutely. They score there. They force overtime. Who knows what happens? It could be a 2-0 series at that point, and things are completely different. And then the next game, Shea Theodore has his House of Horrors. And here we are, where the Caps are now 1 away from moving on, or from not moving on, from winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's my thing where Bettman comes out. Oh, shit, son. You got to face this team.
Like he would know, too. He's an in.
Exactly.
He's got it in.
They got exclusive TV rights, so he knows what's up.
Oh yeah,
the extra big bad boss at the end of like Mortal Kombat or something.
This is Vince McMahon coming out.
Yeah.
Like the Penguins
saying, congratulations for winning the Royal Rumble. Now you've got to face the Undertaker right now.
So that, Batman comes out with the cup and he goes to put it on the table, and David Copperfield makes it disappear. It's somewhere in another castle.
Here's what
all ship breaks loose.
Here's what happens.
And you have to go to Excalibur.
Is that immediately after the game, they raise the cup to the rafters, and here come the refreshed Penguins, and they say the Caps to win the cup have to beat the Penguins again, who have been resting for 2.5 weeks.
Rematch.
Yes, in a ladder match.
Comes out with a briefcase.
Nope. In a game 7, because the Penguins cashed in their money in the bank.
Yeah.
Yes.
They replaced the villain in the pregame show with the cup, and the cup just dangles over center ice as they play.
Yes. Oh, that would be so good. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And if it goes to overtime is basically Ovechkin and James Neal climbing a step ladder to try and get to the cup. It turns into Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon in the first ever ladder match.
I'll go around the room on this one. Conn Smythe, who you got? Start with Sean Leahy.
It's crazy how that's changed, right? It's gone from Fleury, who was by far the favorite cutting in, to now. I want to say Kuznetsov, To me right now, if I was voting, I'd say Kuznetsov. But I think the overwhelming thought and how it might go if tomorrow night's just a regular game and nothing crazy happens, I think it might just go to Ovechkin. Hard to argue. Maybe he might get a little, might get Kesseled a little bit if you think Kuznetsov deserves a little more just for what he's done this postseason. But Ovi's done a lot, not just scoring goals. I mean, the story I literally just wrote, which is why I was late, was just how they're all in on doing all the little things. I mean, Ovi's blocking shots. He's got 4 block shots in this series. He has 13 in the playoffs. He had 21 in the regular season.
Yeah.
If you have a guy like Ovechkin dropping the block shots.
Hell, he's even diving to poke pucks out over the line. I never saw him do that before.
He really wants to win, and these guys know. You get to this point, and you may not get here ever again.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I got to say, like Ovechkin, I have never seen him dialed in as he is in not just this series, in these playoffs. He is like happy-go-lucky. Ovi is gone. I mean, yes, you're seeing the emotion on the bench, but once that happiness bit goes away, it's just woo, just that intense look in his eyes that I have not seen before. So yeah, he's dialed it up big time.
Yeah, Lyle.
As much as I listen, I would love to see Ovi. I want to see Ovi win hoist the cup and all that. And yeah, I could say to Sean's point, I would not be disappointed if Ovi got the Conn Smythe, because I don't believe Fleury's going to get it now, not unless they stage a comeback for the ages. But we won't talk about that. But I got to go with Kuznetsov though. Seriously, Kuznetsov, he has been clutch over and over and over, setting up key goals, scoring key goals, coming back from a hand injury. I mean, I don't doubt that his hand's still probably screwed up. I bet afterwards we're going to find out that he's got like a cracked bone in his hand, or it was a badly sprained wrist, or maybe even a torn ligament or something. But he comes back. He had 4 points in game 4. He had 2 points, I believe, in game 3, the game he came back from that injury. So man, he's the leading scorer in the playoffs now. I mean, I know that, yes, technically you don't just give it to the leading scorer or anything like that, but in this case, I think Kuznetsov has earned that Conn Smythe trophy.
Mark?
So I've been back and forth on this a lot. You mentioned Kuznetsov. I think one of the biggest factors in giving it to Kuznetsov is scoring that overtime goal to eliminate the Penguins. I mean, if you're talking about the most valuable player to his team, not only has he scored the most amount of points on the Capitals, but he scored probably the biggest goal in franchise history to this point in eliminating the Penguins. And if it's the biggest goal in franchise history, it's probably the biggest goal in that playoff series, in that playoff year. But I still don't think the Caps get to where they are without Holtby, because I mean, he single-handedly, when he started playing in that Columbus series, stole a lot of games against Columbus and stole a few games against Pittsburgh. I mean, if he was anything but above average, I mean, he was stellar for most of those games, but if he was mediocre for any of those games, the Caps don't make it here.
And then, of course, there's the save.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that was an incredible save. I'll put it. I'll save. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's being played up a lot. It's very hard to do, but most of being a goaltender is putting yourself in a position to make a save, regardless of whether you meant to do it or not. And
Dominic has made a career of that.
It's true, but all Holtby was doing on that was trying to get anything in front of the net, and it just so happened that Alex Tuch hit his stick. So with it being a great save, yeah, it's a fantastic save, but it's because Holtby recovered well. It's not because he knew what he was doing. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Doc Emmerich's call of it though was fantastic. I really liked it. Oh, it didn't go.
Even he didn't know how to really phrase it.
No.
But in any case, an incredible save. But I think it's being played up too much. I agree that it's probably the turning point in the series, but not because it energized the Caps, because it demoralized the Knights.
That works. I like that. I like that explanation.
Yeah.
Johnny,
it's also a goal for. Like that save literally is like scoring a goal at that point of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
so
6 seconds left.
So I've heard everything. I've heard everyone at this point except for Scotty, and I know that Scotty's going to go with Michael Kepney. So I'm going to pick somebody else.
Damn, you're on to me.
And I know that Kuznetsov has been fantastic, and he does pterodactyl and eagle type things. and Holtby has been amazing. But there is almost zero chance that someone outside of Ovechkin gets this if Ovechkin wins the cup.
Yeah.
That's from my perspective on this. The culmination of his career goes to him winning the Conn Smythe and the cup if the Capitals win the cup. I don't see it any other way.
Yeah.
And it purely comes from the fact that it's not just voting on this playoffs. It never is. I mean, Crosby's won Conn Smythe in the past where he hasn't been the best player on the team. But because he's Sidney Crosby, he won the Conn Smythe. So I just don't see it being anybody outside of Ovechkin. If it is, I don't think Ovechkin will care.
No, I don't get it.
I think
he's the first one to lift the cup. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
He just wants to win the cup.
He'll be thrilled for whoever wins the Conn Smythe. He'll be thrilled for them.
So it doesn't matter to him one way or the other, but I just see it going to Ovechkin no matter who else should get it.
Which, by the way, there are a couple times where Ovechkin was very unselfish trying to pass the puck when he could have rifled it. So you can see that.
Okay, so I definitely had a Scotty moment on Monday as well, where I think it was a 2-on-1 with
you yelled a racial epithet.
No. with Kuznetsov, and there's like an 8-year-old kid behind me, and Kuznetsov and Ovi are coming in. The Shea Theodore is definitely playing the puck to come across and allowing Ovechkin to shoot, and he tries to pass it, and it goes in Fleury's glove, and I stand up in front of the kid, mind you, and I go, "Would you just shoot the fucking puck?" They're up 4-0.
The problem was the kid could still see over Johnny.
Well, stadium seating.
Yeah. All right. So my pick is, of course, what everyone in the Canadian sports media is going to pick: Sidney Crosby. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely agree with Johnny. If the Caps win, it's Ovechkin's to lose, just on merit alone. The top three I have: Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, TJ Oshie. I will make a case for TJ Oshie. 6 power play goals, 2 game-winning goals. You want to talk about Ovechkin being a force? TJ Oshie has been a goddamn wrecking ball out there. He has been asserting his will, especially in this series. You can see guys who want it, and Oshie is a guy who wants it. A little bit in last series too. I think Oshie, if he had been more productive early, because I think he's dealing with like everyone else, dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Especially to his hand, and I think probably his ankle. Will reveal that at the end of the year. But I think he's a guy who should get a little bit of consideration, although I think it's pretty much down to the 2 Russians at this point.
Yeah.
I'd actually contemplate driving to Greenbelt just to get a TJ Oshie Metro card.
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Real quick before we let our 2 guests go, Sweet Lou just firing everybody. And
is anyone even surprised?
He is letting them go of their positions. They are still staying with the club, from what I read in the press release.
Yes.
Don't know what they're doing. They're Greg Sherman in this whole thing.
Exactly.
Well, it's pretty clear Garth Snow is going to be their new emergency backup goaltender.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Guys, as of 1:45 p.m., I've activated myself.
Bring out the pillow pads.
Yeah.
God, they city with the number of cardboard cutouts they're gonna have.
Bring out the pillow pads and the underage girls from Long Island. Garth Snow's of the town, baby. What can we expect as Lou Lamoriello as general manager, Sean?
What was the song? Changes.
Oh, that's good. You know what? Velvet and peanut butter. You're so smooth with that voice.
Real smooth.
You know what I like, Scotty?
Real smooth.
Well, it changes, right? That was the first. Obviously, there's one decision that will really affect everything else the Islanders do this summer, and that's what John Tavares wants to do. I'm sure they already know, his camp already knows he's going to get his 8 years and whatever the dollar amount is going to be and all that extra stuff. So it's just a matter of whether or not he wants to stay there for 8 more years. And does he feel, if he wants to stay there, will they have a chance to win a championship? And certainly having a guy with Lamoriello's cachet helps. a guy who was part of a team, not the only reason, but a part of a reason why the Leafs have turned things around. Also with Austin Matthews, but also the other people in that front office there. So if he could kind of reorganize that front office on Long Island and certainly bring in some extra pieces aside from Tavares, but boost up the defense, figure out what they're going to do in goal. Certainly, as we saw this season, there's no issues with the offense. I mean, they could score 5 goals a night. It's just they would let in 7 or 8. But it's certainly a good start, and I think I've always said I think Tavares wants to stay. He wants to make it work, and he wants to win on Long Island. So I think certainly this move, even though Tavares was close with Waite, I mean, he lived at Waite's guest house his rookie year, and Lamoriello was tight with Snow going back to, I think it was like the 96 World Cup or something like that. They have a relationship. So, but if you want to win, you got to make those tough decisions. So good start for the Islanders.
All right. Lyle?
Yeah. I certainly agree with Sean's analysis on that. The one thing I will say, though, is I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we are going to be seeing Lamoriello making moves that will help improve the Islanders, but I think they're also going to be geared primarily to swaying Tavares into re-signing. I really do think that, he's going to be, it's basically going to be sort of like, look, we got this guy, basically, come on. They've got 46.7 mil invested in just 13 players. They've got plenty of cap space here to re-sign Tavares. If he wants 11 mil, 12 mil, they can give that to him. And if that cap ceiling hits 80 million as being projected, possibly even 82 million if the PA, does the full 5% on their escalator clause. I mean, good God, they're going to have a lot of money to work with. They can afford to re-sign. If they want guys like Brock Nelson, they can Brock Nelson. They can bring back Calvin DeHaan if they want. More than likely, though, they're going to go after, like you said, they're going to go after probably make a big plunge in the free agent market. Hey, hello, if John Carlson doesn't resign with your Capitals, if he goes to market, hey, there's a pickup right there. So I think what you're going to see is he's going to be making moves in the next 2 weeks in the trade market to try and bolster defense, bring in a quality goaltender if he can get one. Maybe bring in a little bit more depth up front, because not only, again, to improve the overall team, but basically to convince Tavares, look, we're not sitting here thinking 5 years down the road here. This is not the same regime where we're going to hoard draft picks and prospects and try and be patient, wait. We've got enough youth here. We've got enough young people in the system and enough draft picks. We're going to win now. We're going for it starting next season. So I think that's what we can expect from Lamoriello.
There you go. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We have taken
always a pleasure, guys.
Well, Leahy can stay if he wants. We're not getting rid of him.
You both.
I mean, he's in Vegas. There are no clocks. He doesn't even know what time it is.
You both can stay if you want, but I was told Lyle was on for an hour, and then he has to.
I do have to go, guys.
He covers his petunias for the Frost Warning.
Yes, because we got another Frost Warning tonight.
And then Sean Leahy can stay, obviously, but I heard he needs to keep in his dark dungeon. So if you gentlemen want to stay, by all means.
No, I would love to stay longer. I'm going to miss the haha fuck you this week, which really sucks.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
So Lyle,
actually, because I love that game.
The last Capitals lineup to win the Stanley Cup. So
there we go.
It's all
anyway, it was great seeing you again, Sean. Enjoy Vegas while it lasts. And
what does that even mean?
Well, if Obi wins the cup tomorrow night, I don't know how long it's going to
That's what I mean. Exactly.
I did see that earlier. Skylove was in town, so keep an eye out for that.
And if the Caps do win tomorrow night, and I'm hoping they do for the sake of your guys' mental health and nothing else, then I'll be thinking of it and hoisting the glass. So anyway, have a good week, guys. Talk to you next week.
Bye, Lyle.
See you, Lyle.
There he goes. And he's on several different sites. Sean Leahy, do you have time still, or are you?
No, I'm going to stay so we can talk trash about Lyle now.
Okay, good. Listen, that fucking guy. He's Prince Edward Island. That's not a real fucking place. Much less a province. It's pronounced Providence, sir. Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, home of the Friars.
So
go.
That's true. So the big story from talking to Sean Leahy before Game 4 is how the entire city of Washington, D.C. smells like weed.
Yes.
That's investigative reporting by NBC's Sean Leahy. He will be on Dateline later this week.
Not the Chris Hansen Dateline.
No.
Whew.
Hi
That's
there,
different. They lost.
Brittany.
They lost in the second round to the Jets.
Hey, John.
They're- John,
Hey.
John, your sister-in-law wants to talk to you.
I was just saying
Hi.
hi. I was just saying hi. How are you guys?
Doing great. How are you, Brittany?
I'm sleep training a tiny human and
It seems like a great time.
torturing.
You mean a smaller human than the rest of the Batanzas?
I drink wine and cry. It's great. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really
that
are.
should be
a
on a
mom.
T-shirt.
It's pretty sad. All right. I just want to say
Hashtag
hi.
I drink wine and cry.
Pittsburgh.
Bye. There goes the better half of the Patanzo trio. So yeah, Sean Leahy's smelling weed and smoking crack. What's up with that? Is that the story? I don't
He's
know.
not a mayor.
Oh.
Yet.
Yet.
Yet. Throw my hat in the ring sometime. But yeah, I walked there. Like I left the rink. I don't even know what day it is, but one of the days I was there, and it's just a big waft of weed, and I'm like, what the hell? And then like the next day, I'm leaving my hotel to go to the rink, and just a big waft of weed. So like, is it legal in BC? I don't know. I'm not up to date on the legality of it, but it seems like it's everywhere in that city.
Listen, guns are illegal in Chicago, and they still have them. So I don't know if that's really a.
I'm not even sure what is legal and what isn't legal in DC anymore.
That's very true.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it did get legalized in DC last year.
Possession of small amounts is legal. So
These were not small amounts.
I'm
what
sure
if each person has a small amount in the group,
That's
though?
true. That's very true.
Keep in mind they did make a statue for Marion Barry, so small amount is relative.
Is it made out of hemp?
It's made out of glass, and then you can smoke out of his ear.
It's the big bomb.
Exactly. And it also has engraved on it, "Bitch stole my money."
He didn't smoke weed. He was smoking crack.
No,
That's why I said glass, because it's the crack pipes.
Oh, all right.
Crack pipes. By the way, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Leahy will enjoy this. I think he was the one who broke it for us. Panic at the Disco will be playing Game 5. Panic at the Disco.
That one tears me a little bit because I'm a big Panic at the Disco fan. I couldn't care less about Imagine Dragons, honestly, but Panic at the Disco.
I like how Vegas is upping their emo game after Fall Out Boy played in DC.
Which, by the way, was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
God awful.
That was terrible.
So from what I heard, they played 4 songs and then got off the stage. But what they showed on the videos made it look like it was fantastic.
I wonder if that's the whole NHL with pop punk bands, because Yellow Card played like 2.5 songs at the draft in 2007 and then left. So, oh well. It's true. You're not wrong.
Panic at the Disco.
So Sean Leahy's a Penguins fan, unabashed. Phil Kessel is unhappy. So when are they going to trade him? I guess is my question to you. What? Oh. But they saw him eating a sandwich without French fries. That's grounds for removal in Pittsburgh.
Well, that's grounds for arrest. In Pittsburgh, you need those fries, you need the coleslaw, otherwise they yell at you. I know from experience. God forbid someone doesn't want a handful of fucking coleslaw on your goddamn sandwich. But hey, whatever. I'll take the fries.
Why hasn't a Penguins fan thrown coleslaw on the ice after games? What the hell?
We got shoes. We got crabs.
Crabs
and then there's the things on the ice.
I will say that the best tweet that I've ever sent out at this point of my life has been the fact that I took a picture of a random crab being thrown on the ice from the 400 level of Verizon or from Capital One Arena after the game. Everyone loved it. Everyone, it was the greatest tweet I've ever had. I had news sources wanting to talk to me. It was amazing.
Was that your crab?
No, there's zero chance I would have made it that far. Plus, I was behind one of the nets. It wouldn't have made it on.
Plus, that damn kid behind you kept bugging you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I already threw it at him. But yeah, crabs on the ice. Whew.
It's fantastic. It's great.
So we talked about Phil Kessel last week, and I believe the Vegas Golden Knights are going to have a lot of money after that salary cap goes up. A lot of money to spend.
Yeah, but they could use that for like Carlson or even which is the hot. They are reportedly in on Carlson at the trade deadline. So if they're going to have all that room to spend, they could trade for him this summer, and as long as it's after July 1st, then they could even give him an extension if he wants to stay there or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Kessel stuff is just typical. The Kessel stuff is so dumb because it all spawned from the fact that he didn't talk on locker cleanout day.
That's it.
And then the rumor mill started churning, and he was unhappy. But I think we know this already. He's just a weird guy. Maybe he's a little socially awkward. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's who he is. That's why people love him when they're playing for your team. He's got a fun personality when he wants to show it. But he's also a guy who just come up for career year, and he can eat all the hot dogs he wants. He hasn't missed a game in 9 years, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it is. He's durable. Yeah, he probably he wanted to play with Malcolm a little bit more, and maybe not having Rick Taka there hurt a little bit this year because they were pretty tight, and Taka was kind of the guy that he could go to when there was stuff going on. But a lot of that stuff boils over when you have a disappointing end to your season. And yeah, the Penguins won 2 in a row, but hey, they could have easily won 3 in a row, and it didn't happen. The Caps beat them, and stuff like that's going to get out, and frustration is going to happen. But there's nothing that a couple months apart from everyone can solve. Back in training camp, it'll be fine. I mean, obviously every team would want him, but what kind of package would the Penguins get that would make it feasible for them to trade him? None, because Kessel's still in his prime. He's just scored 90 points. Do you going to trade him away because he's a little unhappy? No, you deal with it like professionals, and you go forward next season.
And of course, with gambling being legalized state by state, he doesn't need Rick Tocchet as his bookie anymore, so that helps.
Well, that's what Janet Gretzky's for.
Oh, that's true. The middle woman works perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we got. I'm kind of mad Lyle didn't go the second half of the show, not because the banter between Sean and Lyle, but because we had so much stuff. We had so much stuff to talk to him about. Now he's gone because he's got a frost warning. Ilya Kovalchuk, who do you got in this whole thing, Mr. Sean Leahy?
I kind of had the Rangers as the favorites, but then Lamoriello went to the Islanders. And I'm very curious about that. Rumor is he wants to play either New York or Florida, big home, homes through where a lot of Russians are and they like to live. And I don't know. I'm sure the Rangers will be interested, but I don't know if that fits into their kind of plans of this kind of retooling on the fly with younger players and cheaper players. If you're bringing in a Kovalchuk, was he 32, 33, 34? You're going to pay him $6 million, $7 million for 2 or 3 years. If you're signing Kovalchuk, that's you saying that you want to try and win next season for 2019. And I don't know if the Rangers are at that point. I'm sure they have some contracts coming up that for young guys that they want to re-sign and fit in under the cap, but the Islanders make sense, but like I said before, the Islanders have a lot more issues than their offense. They got to work on the blue line and the goaltending and figure that out going forward. So it'll be interesting. I mean, they'll certainly have plenty of options for them as well.
Kovalchuk, 35 years old. 35.
35. Good Lord.
He's one day older than I am. So
you age more quickly in Russia, though.
Yeah, that's true. Not wrong.
So the Rangers thing never really made sense to me anyway, because if you're talking about rebuilding with a younger team and then bringing in a guy like Kovalchuk, bringing in anyone that doesn't fit what you're trying to do, if it's an older guy, you want it to be someone who's going to be a leader, and you want someone that's going to be able to shape the team going forward, even if they're not there. You want someone that's going to be able to put an impression on this young quote unquote team, a positive impression. It's not Ilya Kovalchuk. Like, that's not the guy. But I mean, for
they're
me,
not rebuilding. They're doing that new thing that GMs like to call retooling. Because look, they still have guys in their prime. They still have Shattenkirk and Stahl and Zuccarello and Kreider and Zibanejad. Guys like that. They're not completely tearing things down. They're just kind of. And unfortunately, still Lundqvist, of course, for a couple more years. And he's still at the top of his game, or he's not the same, but he's still really, really good. So you want to waste these final couple of years of his contract before he potentially goes to Sweden or retires or what. So and plus bringing in a guy like Kovalchuk, maybe that's a sign to other free agents you can help learn other guys to fill in other areas. So, I mean, I know the Rangers had a terrible year this year, but with the cap space that they're going to have, even though they have some guys to resign like Jimmy Vesey and Kevin Hayes and Ryan Spooner had a good finish, I could easily see them being a playoff team next year if they have the right summer.
We'll get to our Patreon pick right now. We asked you what you wanted to do. You resoundingly said best and worst Stanley Cup. Thanks to our patrons, Brian, Damon, Mark, Tristan, Matthew, Ethan, Chris, Mitch, Angela, and some guy named Sean. We appreciate you. Patreon.com. I know, right? Patreon.com/FaceOffHockeyShow if you want to contribute or anything. We're going to retool this thing for the summer. Don't worry, folks. So best and worst Stanley Cup final. It's we touched a little bit about it last week, I think, or I just was talking to Jen about it randomly as we have just random discussions. So off the top of your head, anybody, Bueller, thoughts, best, worst Stanley Cup final that you remember or have watched in the past, thanks to NHL Network showing all the vault clips that they have.
Probably one of my most memorable ones was when Ray Bourque finally won his Stanley Cup in Colorado. That was probably the one that stands out to me in my mind growing up the most. As for a series, I don't remember the series. I couldn't tell you if it was a great series or not, but just that moment stands out to me.
That one shining moment.
I mean, 2004 was pretty exciting. I think they alternated wins until Game 7. A couple overtime games in there. I think the one was double OT. I think it was, right. Was that the
Flames Lightning, right?
I think Marty St. Louis forced Game 7 there, and obviously, Game 7, which was a 2-1 tight game, exciting for a Tampa Bay team, and then it was also exciting because that was the last hockey we would see for a year and a half. So that was. Oh, actually, no. That I should say we had hockey a few months later with the World Cup, but that was the last NHL hockey we would see for a year and a half. But either way, I mean, otherwise, 7 games. You can't go wrong with a 7-game series that pretty much alternates back and forth and has a bunch of OT games in it as well.
Yeah. John, you have a favorite or a non-favorite?
I was going to bring up that one as being the one that I remember the most. I think more recently, though, I would go to the Kings win 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago.
2014
3 years ago, when Martinez scored in overtime.
Oh yeah.
I remember. I believe it was a show night, and I walked upstairs after the show and turned on the Stanley Cup Finals because every year, it wasn't.
No, it was a Saturday night because I had a work bowling outing, and we went to a bar afterwards, and they scored. So maybe you're just down there ripping rhyming for the Johnny P album.
So every year, no matter who's in the Stanley Cup final, I always try to watch the game that the Stanley Cup is won in. I just kind of like taking that in. The cup coming out, depending if it's in the away rink or the home rink, there's just a different dichotomy between all of it. So maybe I just watched the game, and I remember it going to overtime, and I think I turned it on because somebody texted me and said it was going to overtime. So that was just a big goal, on the rush, basically. So I remember that most recently, I think, for Stanley Cup Finals.
One of my memorable ones for the least amount, the Carolina Hurricanes Edmonton Oilers one could be a forgettable Stanley Cup final. If not for Ty Conklin, boy.
Well, none of the games were outdoors.
Right? So, disadvantage. Huge disadvantage off the hop. Memorable. I recently, I would have to say the Blackhawks in 2010. The Patrick Kane goal that no one knew was a goal except for him. Because the story coming in, Michael Leighton leading the Flyers. Who? Yeah, that guy. Anthony Niemi. Yeah, Anthony Niemi down the other end. This Blackhawk team who had their core, the core guys that were there and just bringing it up. It was the start of this dynasty, and I think it was that series as a whole was a nice back and forth series as well.
Dustin Bufflin as a forward.
Dustin Big Buff as the most hated man everywhere he went except Chicago. Still to this day, it's most hated man except Chicago. Oh, the stealing puck epidemic. Absolutely. There was a lot of storylines in this.
Yep.
I also remember 2001, not only for Ray Bourque, but I was at senior week. And my girlfriend at the time, she wanted, we were laying on the couch and she wanted it to change. And then I'm like, no, this is history. And then she backheeled me in the nuts. So that was memorable because I'll always remember seeing Ray Bourque carry the cup around the rink and me doubled over
crying eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And not out of joy, just out of sheer pain.
So I just had to pull up the all of the Stanley Cup Finals on Wikipedia here. I did not realize that the last sweep in a Stanley Cup Final was the Washington Capitals back in 1998. Last time a team got swept.
That was going to be my least memorable.
But the other thing I didn't know was that was the fourth in 4 straight years.
Yeah,
that there were
by the Red Wings.
Right. So yeah, so the Red Wings sweep the Capitals 98, Red Wings sweep the Flyers 97, Avalanche sweep the Panthers 96, Devils sweep the Red Wings 95. 4 straight seasons with a sweep in the finals. I would say that for the NHL as a whole, that was probably 4 years of not so great Stanley Cup Finals.
Puck era.
I don't know. The Panthers Avalanche series was okay, especially with having to go with 3 overtimes for that final deciding game. Worst Stanley Cup, Johnny? You say the Caps one?
Yeah, and for me, it's because the run up to it was so. It was just kind of like this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Things were working in the favor of the Capitals. I still remember the run up to the Caps to get to the Stanley Cup. The Caps were playing the Bruins, and I don't know which game it was, but we're out at a bar with like 15 people. I'm not even 21 yet. And they want to like throw me out of the bar because I'm not 21 yet. So I'm like, that's cool, but I'm going to bring all the rest of my friends with me. So they let me stay. And that was, I think, the first year of the like in the crease rule thing. And there was a Bruin skating around the goal. And at that time, also, the crease extended past the goal. Wasn't even in the goal in front of Kolzig, skating around the side of the goal, had his foot in the crease, and the goal was called off. And the Caps ended up winning that game and then won the series because of that call, pretty much. Like, that was like the turning point in that series and started off the run. But then they get to the finals and just run into the buzzsaw and the Esa Tikkanen and this and that. And, you know, it led you up to that point, and then you were just like, the letdown. It's like a normal like Saturday night for me.
There it is. Mark?
For worst or best?
Or either. Whatever you want.
Well, I had mentioned Ray Bourque. I remember that series, the Patrick Kane series, because I was actually at a hotel in California. I was on like a 3-week work trip during that series, so I distinctly remember watching all of those games because I had nothing better to do. Yeah, it's strange. Ever since I graduated college and I was a season ticket holder for the Caps, and I watched so much hockey. Whenever the Caps, because I had so much invested in those teams because I was young and stupid. Emotionally, so much invested in those teams that I kind of stopped watching hockey after they got eliminated. I needed like a break, and by the time my break was done, it seemed like the Stanley Cup Final was done. So I watched games here and there, but I would never really focus on the storylines of a series or like really watch all 7 games if it went to 7 games or 5 games or whatever it was. So I don't really have a more recent good pick for like this was a great series for all these reasons.
You have a worst one or no?
Well, the worst one's I mean, obviously the Caps for us as Caps fans. But I mean, I guess the Ducks Ottawa Senators series was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a bit. That was a.
Even though
Yes.
that was only a 5-game
That was an
series, but that had a lot of memorable moments in it.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Leahy, any worse ones or another better one?
Well, obviously, in 09 Penguins, 7 games.
And it gave us that Flurry moment at the end too.
Flurry moment. Max Talbot, the unlikely hero in Game 7.
I don't think Crosby played for a majority of that third period either.
The second half, yeah, he had like a Charlie horse. He got collision in the boards with for Johan Francis. So he had like a Charlie horse or something. So he didn't play the final half of the third period. So, but as far as worst, I guess maybe 95 Devils and Red Wings was kind of the middle of the trap. Devils, kind of boring. No real exciting moments. It wasn't like 2000, or at least the series ended on an overtime goal with Jason Arnott. So 95 was pretty boring. Anaheim, Ottawa was kind of ho-hum. But for the most part, I mean, the series, there's been a lot of, at least decent, if not exciting series over the last, 20-ish years. I mean, a lot, like Mark said, the sweeps kind of died off after 98, and we've had a bunch of Game 7s and at least, a lot of series going to at least Game 6.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there we go. We've done it. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't share my all-time favorite Stanley Cup. And who can forget? Like, it was one of the era. No one will be able to forget this. When Alf Smith led Ottawa HC in 1903 over the Montreal Victoria. 9-1. Suddy Gilmore had the cup-winning goal. Who doesn't remember Suddy?
Too bad Lyle left. He could tell us about it.
Right.
It's amazing too, because they didn't realize that back at that point there were women that played in the NHL. One of the Gilmore girls, right?
No, Suddy was the drunken Gilmore guy. It was the brother.
Oh,
yeah.
The brother.
So the best part about Alf Smith is that in 1903. Alf Smith was the coach, and then in 1904 he was a player coach. So I don't know why he was just coaching in 03 and then decided to strap him back on in 04, but
it was Reg Dunlap at the time.
Yeah. But in 1899, what they don't talk about with Alf Smith is that he was actually eating cats before games.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is weird.
Well, they do call Ottawa the Melmac of Canada, so got that going for you. By the way, what the fuck is wrong with Ontario? They call kickball soccer baseball, and they call American football rugby football. The hell's wrong with these people? Have you ever heard it called soccer baseball? Like, what's the deal with soccer baseball? It's not soccer.
What do they call froth?
They call it the bubbles, big bubbles.
Frisbee golf.
Oh, frisbee. Oh, frisbee golf. Interesting. Froth. Yeah, it's Ottawa's weird. Ontario's soccer baseball. I heard that. I wanted to choke somebody.
It's a weird reaction.
It's actually a lot of things, though.
Yeah, it's really choke somebody, flip a table. That's it's like two emotions.
Jen, get the tables.
Exactly. And she's just like,
they come out from underneath the couch. There's always one under the couch. It's not. I don't know why.
You talking about tables or the Dudleys?
It's Dust Bunny Dudley. Yeah, can we stop with that commercial? That'd be great too. I mean, Dave Coulier is still getting royalties from y'all to know, so why would he need this kind of?
Yeah, and those royalties, HPV.
Yeah.
Crabs.
Yeah, exactly. And we throw them on the ice. All right. Well, I think both Sean and Mark have to go. They're going to go talk about us.
I do have to go now.
All right. Well, thank you, Sean, for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll see you in Dallas.
You, Sean. It was good seeing you twice in a week.
And then hopefully Sean Leahy will see him as a guest on the Puck Soup podcast in Dallas.
I can't wait to meet up with you guys in 2 weeks.
I have bought my tickets for that show, so it's gonna be great. I'm gonna.
I heard I'm the special guest
Wow, that's amazing.
or a special guest. I don't know.
A special. Well, you're special to us, Sean, and not in a helmet kind of way.
Thank you.
Kind of
Means
in
a
it.
lot.
I like the little Rick Astley twist you have in the front of your hairdo too. That's a nice little touch there.
This is my little sign that I need a haircut. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Wow.
Unfortunately, here at the Bellagio, they cost $100, so I'm gonna wait till I get in.
So yeah, but if you gamble a little bit, they'll comp it.
Listen,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Put it all on red, and you'll be good to go, brother.
But I kind of want the free breakfast instead. So
Well, listen. you
Make
get
sure
the-
you get
I
the
get the
eggs
age of
in the age of enlightenment.
yeah.
All right, Sean. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
There goes Sean Leahy. Sean at
Yeah.
Sean_Leahy. He is with NBC. He's a great guy. He's one of our best buddies. So we appreciate it. Mark, I assume you have to go sleep training as well.
Well, he's down, so I have a
Oh.
little bit of time.
Hey, all right.
Are we gonna haha fuck you, or are we passing that to next
Oh,
week?
we can haha fuck you with the two of us. That's definitely for sure.
Wow.
We
Wow.
can definitely haha fuck you. Speaking of 1903,
This is like a Fallout Boy right now.
right? Speaking of 1903, that's when the Ottawa HC won. I want you to name all the Ottawa HC. No.
Wow.
How great would that be?
I'm gonna go with Clark Gable.
Thank you, my dear. I give a damn. All right. So the Carolina Hurricanes and the Edmonton Oilers played one of the most forgettable Stanley Cup finals ever, unless you were in one of those two series.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was the first Stanley Cup of the new era. Game 7 happened. Carolina wins. We're gonna do this every fucking time. We have 18-18 with two goalies. Haha, fuck you. The 2006 Game 7. Start off with Mark.
Archer's Urbe.
Fuck you. Nope, wrong.
What? Get out of here. How is he not on that team?
He wasn't part of that team.
He was
What are you talking about?
retired. He was
Get out of here.
in
What are you
2006, he
talking
was
about?
retired.
Scotty
Archer's
already
Urbe
gave
was
us
definitely
one
on
too.
that team.
Oh no, he wasn't.
He was in the 2002 team, but not the 2006.
Oh.
They had a cutscene of him running over his pads with his van. I
Yeah,
remember
but that happened in 1994.
That's true.
Anyway, fine, whatever.
By
He
the
was
way,
still using the same pads.
in 2006, he was playing for HK Riga 2000 in the BXL. I don't know what the BXL is. Oh, the Belarusian Extra League. I thought it was a Vince McMahon thing. No, he did not play for Carolina. Oh man, the confidence.
Oh.
Johnny, who do you got?
Well, so I mean, you already mentioned one earlier in the show, and I realized that I'm probably drunk, but I still remember things when I'm drunk, which is bad.
Boy. Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Laura's favorite goalie, Ty
Yeah.
Conklin.
Ty Conklin did not play in this game. I'm sorry. He was the
Really?
he was the backup in this game.
Oh,
Wow.
but I do know who started then.
Okay. Mark.
Fine, Eric Stahl. I'll go easy.
There we go. Layup. Good one. Eric
Great
Stahl.
work.
Got to get my confidence back.
Yeah, Johnny.
And Nikolai Hobby-Bulin.
Fuck you. Nope.
He
was
wasn't
with
the goalie?
He was not the
Tampa.
goalie. He was in Tampa.
I'm just gonna keep naming goalies then until I get them.
Mark.
I'm pretty sure that was Dwayne Rollison, the goaltender for Edmonton. Then
He was injured.
Oh,
He got injured for game 7. He tore his MCL. So
Damn.
I cannot accept that. Johnny.
Kevin Weeks.
Fuck you. He was with the Rangers at that point.
Damn it!
I'm gonna stick with the goalies just so we can get rid of it.
Please.
Cam
No.
Ward.
Cam Ward on the board. I called him bullshit earlier today, Johnny. All right.
Yeah, but Ty Conklin was on this team.
That's true too. Johnny, you're up.
Actually, I have no idea. No. Ultimate DUI was Hobby-Bulin. I don't remember who played in this game then for the Oilers.
I don't think either of you will figure that one out.
Was it Delorier's?
It was not. It was not John Drouin Delorier.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
Mark.
Justin.
We'll
Williams.
start naming people.
Justin Williams on the board. Johnny P.
Rod Brendamore.
On the board, Rod Brendamore. Rod the bod. Mark.
I don't know any defenseman that played for either of these teams.
Probably the best.
Lubomir Visnovsky.
Ooh, good guess. Not on the board.
Mm.
That's a Todd Butts favorite.
You just wanted to say him again.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. Johnny.
Oh man. Matt Cullen.
On the board, Matt Cullen. 2 assists for the Carolina Hurricanes. Mark with the C.
Eric Cole.
Eric Cole on the board.
Oh, nice.
I don't
This
think,
was the heyday of the Southeast
yeah, I was
Division.
gonna say you guys are sticking. I like it. You're sticking to the guns. I appreciate it. Johnny, you're up.
Damn it, I don't remember his first name.
That's fine. Give me a last name.
Hasey.
Pardon?
Hasey. Haisey. He was a defenseman.
No, incorrect, sir. I'm sorry.
What's his first name?
Are you thinking of Ron Hainsey?
Yes.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, no, that wasn't. I took that into account, and no, it's not right either.
That's what I figured. But yeah.
Oh man.
He played for Carolina though, right?
I believe so. Yes, recently too.
I have no clue who played on defense on either of these teams.
There's maybe 1 or 2 guys I would think you would know on both teams. 3 maximum.
Was Pronger on the Oilers at this point? Chris
Pronger was on the Oilers on the board.
Nice.
That's 2 straight weeks of Chris Pronger for me.
Yeah. Led all skaters with 26 minutes in Game 7. Johnny.
Was the Edmonton Weather Girl on the Carolina Hurricanes?
Sadly not. Sadly
darn.
not. She was blowing her way through. Anyway.
Wow. Whew. Yeah, this was an awful.
This was an awful Stanley Cup final.
My God. The most that I remember about the Stanley Cup final is we ran like a 25-foot extension cord out of the back of Laura's house so that we could watch this on like a 14-inch TV in her backyard.
Perfect.
All right, so who else might have been on the Hurricanes? Shit. Mark, if you know somebody, you can go. I have a feeling that I know a defenseman, but I can't figure out what the hell his name is.
I'm running out. Oleg Tverdovsky.
I can explain him probably.
No Tverdovsky, but please, I want you to explain this.
So the guy that got traded to the Capitals, maybe 2 or 3 years after this, he came from Carolina. He right-handed shot defenseman. What the fuck was his name?
Brian Pothier.
No, he came from Ottawa.
No, it wasn't.
God,
I'd have to look it up. But,
yeah, I'm like,
but then
I know this player.
But then that like screws me up because I'm not allowed to use my phone. He came from the Hurricanes, and he came. It was before. It was a late season trade too.
Right. Well, yeah, as the Caps are wont to do.
Yeah.
God, who could it have been? Now
it was Joe Corvo.
Oh yeah, Joe Corvo. Not on the board.
He wasn't on that team.
He was with Ottawa. You guys both tapped out.
No.
I'll reveal.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else on this team.
I'll reveal these rosters. So for Edmonton, Radek Dvorak, Todd Harvey, Alish Hemsky, Sean Horkoff, Ethan Morrow, R.E.M. Murray, Michael Pekka, Fernando Pisani.
Oh yeah, we should have known that.
Pronger, Sergei Samsonov,
really,
Jason Smith, Ryan Smith, Yaroslav Spacek, Hey, Steve Staios, Jarrett Stahl, Dick Tarnstrom, and Rafi Torres in net. In net. He is number 30 on your game sheet, number 1 of your hearts. UC Markkinen.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, the name Dick has really gone by the wayside, hasn't it? When you got a guy named Dick Tarnstrom.
Especially he was Swedish, too. That was the weirdest part. For your Carolina Hurricanes,
It probably doesn't
Craig
mean
Adams.
the same thing there, though.
That's true. Craig Adams, Kevin Adams, Brendan Moore Cole, Mike Commodore. Matt Cullen, Brett Hedican, Francis Caberlet, Andrew Ladd, Chad LaRose, Mark Recchi, Eric Stahl, Corey Stillman, Nicholas Walline, Aaron Ward, Glenn Wesley, Ray Whitney, Justin Williams, and Cam Ward in net.
Ray Whitney. Another one we should have.
Wow.
That was
These were two awful teams.
This was an awful Stanley Cup final. By the way, the backup for Cam Ward, or I'm sorry, because he played the majority and then got tossed for Cam Ward in the playoffs. Martin Gerber. Martin Gerber played two games in the Stanley, or had played 6 games, had 2 decisions, had a 3.54 goals against and an 856 save percentage in the playoffs. Cam Ward then wins the Conn Smythe. So there you go. Good old man. We should have done that one with Lyle. He would have hated it.
Yeah. Wow. That we actually, let's be honest. If no one listens to the show, we can do it again next week.
Here's the thing. We could do it again next week, and you guys probably might not.
I still won't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
I might not even get the goalie.
Yeah, that's true.
I've already forgotten who it was.
Exactly. You're done. All right. Mark, you still good? You still good? Yeah. See if we can run out the clock here.
Sure.
Sounds like sleep training's going well.
Yeah, sleep training seems fine.
It started out a little dicey. But he seems to be getting the hang of it.
That's good.
It's he'll cry for like 2 to 3 minutes, lay in his crib for another like 5 to 10 minutes silently, and then just wind up going to bed.
There you go.
So
that's normally what I do as well.
Some coaching changes real quick. Tampa Bay fired Rick Bowness and part ways with Brad Lauer, 2 of their assistant coaches. We mentioned Doug Waite out. Dallas hired Todd Nelson as an assistant coach. He's formerly Edmonton Oilers head coach and Grand Rapids Griffins head coach. St. Louis hired Mike Van Ryn from the Tulsa Roadrunners, and then Daryl Sador stepped down as well. Some injury news. I don't know if you have it queued up or if you care to queue it up, Johnny. I couldn't give a shit either way. It's only 2 of them.
I have it queued up.
I just dropped in to see what condition my condition.
That was a hard open.
That's what I like, baby. That's what they called me in college.
There was no break-in period for that open.
Scotty hard open was.
Wow. That was aggressive.
Yeah. Colin Miller, broken nose, game time decision. Odds are he'll play for game 5. Roman Josi played the World Championships with a broken hand. He was not neutral for Switzerland in their defense. Won a silver medal. So good for them. All right. As we go into this venture, the next time we speak to you people, we could have Stanley Cup champions. It could be an hour show as we preview Game 7, crying hysterically. 2 ways to go about this.
There could either be a Stanley Cup champion or it could be Game 7.
We could have a Stanley Cup champion, or we could all be on suicide watch. The point is this. Man, this has been fun. Oh, has this been fun?
Right? Yeah.
I was too young to appreciate it in 98 because I was only 15. This is fun. I'm enjoying it. Don't like yelling at my TV all the time. But I would
have to yell in a whisper voice.
I know. That's got to be hilarious.
It's fun.
I'm gonna say that this is a lot more fun because like you actually are able to enjoy it now. Like
Yeah.
I was in college and college was cool, but whatever. College is college. You just got drunk a lot. Like you didn't really enjoy the games or anything. Like I feel like I enjoy this way more.
Absolutely. No, especially knowing that, man, no one thought this team would be here. Of these core guys, this could be their only chance. Although,
yeah, but this
new-
is also the team that we joked around in the beginning of the season that if there was a time, it would be this year.
Absolutely.
Right? Like we all said this in the beginning of the season.
Yep. And let's be honest, this new core of kids, I have been very, very happy with Andre Burakovsky and the way he's been playing. I have been
Can
astounded
Kempney
by
stay?
Huh?
Can Kempney stay around?
That'd be great. I'm pretty sure you can get him value signing. I like him. I like him a lot, especially if you lose John Carlson in the open market. I think you have to get Kempney back. He's only 27. His AAV is 1.13. I'm very sure you can get him. I'm sorry, 900,000 was his hit this year. I'm pretty sure if you give him a 1.152 million, he's on the moon and he's playing fantastic. I mean, Verona has been amazing. I'll always defend the fact that Andre Burakovsky should have never came out of junior right to the NHL, and he's showing why he is actually doing very well now because he's actually had time to develop. Brett Conley is fantastic.
His beard is amazing as well.
His beard looks fantastic. Devontae Smith-Pelly has been a huge
good signing.
Great signing. Great trade because I think he was traded, wasn't he?
Oh, he was part of the Mojo trade.
He was. The Mojo trade paying off big way. Mark very happy. Brooks Orpik,
get rid of
dumpster
it.
fire.
Locker room cancer and Mojo.
Exactly.
Nobody liked him. I don't know.
The Swedish guy that never talked to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, this could be the last time we see Philip Grubauer around at all. This team's been a hell of a team.
Well, put it in perspective for DC. 70,000 people tried to get tickets to the Game 5 viewing party or whatever, the watch party or whatever it's called at Verizon Center.
In the arena.
70,000 people tried to log in at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever time it was today to try and get tickets. That's ridiculous for 18,000 seats.
And people trying to undercut it by getting tickets to the Mystics game that got moved to 4 o'clock.
Hey, I thought that was great hustle.
That's smart. That's genius. That's genius.
If they go, it sure as fuck better go though.
Well, that's the thing is the Capitals or somebody stepped in and they completely changed the structure of it. They were giving away free tickets to the Mystics game and incorporating that into the watch party. So so the whole like going to the Mystics game loophole got closed pretty quickly.
I gotcha.
Good.
But but that was my thing. Is like if you're going to the Mystics game, just go to the watch party. Be involved in the Mystics game because that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
Why wouldn't you? Like you're there. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, help them win another attendance banner.
Exactly. Apparently, there's a team called the Las Vegas. Oh, that's going to be a good one. The Las Vegas Aces go to Washington. That's a game people should go to as Caps fans and just taunt the Las Vegas Aces. Tickets from $8 at the Capital One Arena on Friday, August 3rd.
The other really funny part about Game 4 was there was a throng of Vegas fans. I would say between 20 and 50 that were down on the ice, like for getting ready for warm-ups to start. And they just started chanting, "Let's go Vegas." They're like, "Let's go Knights." And they're like chanting. And the thousands of Caps fans that are in the arena already before the game even started just start booing them to the point where you can't even hear them chanting anymore.
Nice. That's the way to do it. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. When I said I did price air flight to Vegas.
Yeah.
Then I realized I had to work, and my boss was none too pleased. And ticket price is only $750 for tickets.
It's not bad.
It's not terrible.
Actually, so here's the really interesting part. I feel like if I flew to Vegas, I would rather be outside. Like I'd rather be at the watch party than be in the arena.
Yeah, I think that could be. I think in the arena you can be it'd be a little hectic. I don't know. I would just want to be there. If I got on the ground at like 8 o'clock as the cup's being handed out, I'd be fine.
So there was some ongoing debate amongst the Caps fans, I guess, that I'm friends with, whether they're casual or new or old Caps fans or whatever. Some people were actually saying that they would rather the Caps lose Game 5 so they could win the cup in Game 6 at home.
We have broached that topic beforehand, but what's your thought on that?
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, before you got there.
That's what the parade is for. You don't need to win the cup at home. Just win the cup and then bring it home.
Exactly.
You don't give them any sunlight. Stomp on their throats.
Especially with this team. We don't
not
need
with skates.
Right, that's kind of weird.
Not with skates. No.
But yeah, I think we were all on the thing of you finish them now. If I'm Barry Trotz, I'm like, listen, you fuckers. The next time we go to DC, we're gonna have the cup in our hand as we land at the airport.
So I want to see
this is some like
come off
this
the
is
plane
some
with
Mortal
Stanley
Kombat
Cup,
shit
the way he
at this
came
point.
off with the Prince of Wales trophy. But he's carrying the cup.
He flies home with it next to him.
He did it with the Prince of Wales trophy. Yeah. He literally carried it from the plane to his car.
Who are
and
we
then
kidding?
into his house.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding? That's going to be on a roulette table and it bust, and then Vegas wins the cup that way.
That's how it goes down. The last round is actually just Sean Concrete Casino craps.
Yeah, Vegas,
they're like, all right,
the house always wins.
Bring him in. Sean and David P. Lycombe show up, and they have to win on the roulette table.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. Oh boy. Well, it's gonna be a fun couple games.
With all the all-in money.
Exactly. All that high school basketball money. Doing a great time. It's gonna be a fun couple days. It better be a fun fucking couple. I can't come here next week doing an hour pregame show. I wouldn't be able to.
No.
I just be sitting here. Well, I told you.
So my boss actually went to Game 4. He's not a big hockey fan. He wanted to go to Game 4, so he got tickets. Him and a girl went to the game. Talked to me the next game. It was next day and was like, "This was amazing. This was the best hockey game ever. Like, I love hockey. This is awesome." He goes, "I want to go to DC on Thursday. What are you doing?" And I go, "Not going to DC."
Yeah. No.
And he's like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "There's zero chance I want to be in DC on Thursday. First of all, I want to watch the game by myself.
Yeah.
Second of all, I will be drinking by myself. And third, if the Caps win on Thursday night, I will be crying in the fetal position in my living room, yelling into Voxer and talking to you guys and not dealing with 40,000 other people that I have no care on who they are or who they aren't."
I will be, if the Caps pulled off tomorrow, I will be a crying mess, and I will call my dad and tell him thanks, and he'd be like, "Well, he still couldn't fucking sweep him." I'm like, "Well, listen, you're missing the fucking point. You're missing the fucking point, Stan. Jesus Christ."
Stan's like, "Yeah, but we got a Russian for a fucking cat." Wait, Stan, what the hell?
Stan, you're the one who said he was a fucking choke artist. All right, listen. He's like, "Yeah, but Braden Holtby's no Don Beaupre. He hurt himself in 90. They had to get Mike Liut." Stan. Fuck, you're missing the forest for the trees.
Actually, let's be dead honest. You'll call Stan crying. Stan will be like, "Hey, don't worry about it. I'm making signs for DC, and we have tickets to opening night. You got to fly in for it."
Here's the thing. Don't think I haven't already priced tickets for opening night or had the idea. I've told Jen, listen, we got to take that attendance banner down. And if we got to go to fucking DC, we got to go to fucking DC. I already have told the I'm going to tell the UNDSID because I don't want to jinx this. So I'm not telling anybody anything. I'm going to DM him through tears tomorrow night if they win this, or Sunday night if they win this. If Oshie comes to town with the thing, I need to be there. I don't care where I'm at. That's Sunday night. It's 2 days in advance.
Oh, it's Sunday. God damn it. These people are going to kill me.
Yeah, I know, right? So they better win tomorrow. So I'm going to tell them, listen, I need to be and meet Oshie and say thank you and then cry in the Stanley Cup like a bitch. So it's going to be an emotional time. Thank God
yeah, I will be crying.
Oh, dude. My first game was
I cried when the Caps won Game 7 against Tampa.
Yeah, dude. My first game was an 89 at the Caps Center, and this is the next win. They won that first game. The next win could be my favorite win over that first game.
Yeah.
So that's like
the first game that Mark and I ever went to was the Skipjacks game. And I remember this extremely vividly because my mom had to pull off the road on 295 so that I could throw up all the pasta that I ate for dinner.
Attaboy.
Then somehow I still talked her into going to the game because I really wanted to go to the game. And during the entire national anthem, I threw up everything else that was in my body. But we still watched the Skipjacks play that night.
First off, really pasta Italian stereotype much? Secondly,
so the irony, right, is that Mark and I probably ate pasta like twice a week when we were kids. And I'm not even joking. Like, it's not like a stereotype. It's the truth.
Oh, man, that's great. I'm sure I've told this story, and I'll tell it again if they reach 16 wins. Ben Gustafson is my favorite player for the fact that first game, February 3rd, 1989, he scored the only goal against Mike Liut and the Hartford Whalers on Ben Gustafson T-shirt night.
Oh,
so it was fantastic.
Right there.
Yeah. Pete Peters was in net as well, so that was. He didn't die, oddly enough, which seems to happen every time he had a shot against him. He just crumpled like a paper doll. So this is almost 30 years coming, and God, it's fun and nerve-wracking. Like I said to Sean, like I'm happy and depressed and sad and anxious and horny all at the same time.
But
mostly horny.
Really come down to the fact where we just don't know how to act.
Yeah, exactly. I told Jen when they were up 3-0, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. So have fun.
We just don't know how to act.
Exactly. Jenny, any shout out?
Hashtag wall caps.
We are also caps.
We are also caps.
Johnny's shout out.
Actually, so that's really funny at this point, right? Like, so if you really look at it, it has the Weagle and then the hashtag for the all caps, and it really is wall caps. Like if you put like an apostrophe instead of the hashtag, it's like we're all caps. Really,
well, see, that's great branding because then you can get John Wall as a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm still looking forward. I hope Ben Raby puts out the some of the audio clips, but the Capitals brought back Ron Weber for Game 4 for their radio, and he was on a little bit in some of John Walton's calls for goals, but I'm hoping that they put out more pieces with just him because I love the fact that the Caps have gotten this far and are bringing people back into the organization that were massive parts of a lot of these Capitals fans' youth coming up when the team was young and the fans were young, and you know, like this is what they remember. So like I like how this is occurring. I'll give a shout out to Game 4. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna say that I probably never have to do it again, though. It was an experience. It was cool. The Capitals win. I'm going out on top. I'm going out with a 1-0 record for Stanley Cup final games. So that was awesome. Shout out Sean Leahy. Hope to see him again in Dallas. And it was good catching up with him before Game 4. Yeah, it is what it is. Let's go Caps. Let's make this happen.
Mr. Mark.
Shout out to DC for all jumping on the bandwagon, I guess. It's hard to say bandwagon. Everybody's just being very supportive, lots of positive energy. It's a different feeling. So good times. It's been a lot of fun. Shout out for not inviting Esatikanen back. Of all
He
the
would have
people.
missed his flight anyway.
I'm looking forward to possibly not doing a 1 hour preview show next Wednesday.
Listen, if it gets to that, I don't think we're going to be able to do a show. I think we have to miss a week because that's fucking. I can't. Like I could never.
Because if there's a 1 hour preview show next week, that means we're going to have to talk about 2 Caps losses, and we're not going to want to do that. So,
it'll be a very visual show where if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be a lot of this. For an hour, just an hour of that, and then Lyle's just like, no, they got this. It's fine. Oh no. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it's my shout outs. Shout out Florence Schelling, who retired, the last one of the great women goaltenders for Switzerland and across the board Northeastern grad, and had that giant Yofa helmet cage situation. Shout out to the Caps. Please get it done tomorrow. Be great if you could. Help us out. And I have Monday off, so I can go on that nice 3-day bender if I needed to. I'll be insufferable Friday at work, but who cares? Fuck them. Oshie won it too, so they're happy because the North Dakota guy won the cup. That's it. That's all. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you. We appreciate our patrons like Brian and Sean and Angela and Damon and Mark and Trista and Mitch and Chris and Ethan and Matthew. Thank you all. Patreon.com/FaceOff Hockey Show. Like I said, we're going to revamp some stuff. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to get some more money and give you more content, but mostly make more money. Fuck content, right? That's it. That's all for Johnny P. Mark with the C. I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself. And someone else has been Face Off Hockey Show on Blog Talk Radio. BlogTalkRadio.com/Face Off Hockey Show. Twitter, Face Off HCKY Show. Facebook, FOHS Radio. Guys, enjoy the next 2 games. Hopefully we get a winner for our sake. If you're a Vegas fan, sorry about your luck so far. Maybe you can extend it one more game. Who knows? But until next week, peace.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Where's the sound?
There is no sound.
Whatever.
Bye, everybody.
Happened, I swear. Pause.
Man, can you believe that? Sean Leahy, what an
albino shitbag.
We're going out.
Oh,